I was online looking at historicproperties.com, which brought me out to Keokuk, Iowa, because there was a house that was very inexpensive and it was down from Nauvoo. I thought, oh, we should do a bed and breakfast. We didn't do the bed and breakfast, but we moved out here to Keokuk. And then several years ago I moved back away, but decided to come out and get some flips and get a rental, or some rentals, so I could retire someday. I met some people who owned this bed and breakfast, and then it worked out that they needed a new innkeeper after I'd been in Keokuk for a couple of years, or a few years, and then I'm up here doing this. And that's why I came to Nauvoo November last year. Oh, well, entertaining. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I call myself like the cruise director of where I go. It's always creating parties and inviting people and connecting people, making sure, I don't know, I want people to feel like there's something fun, and if they come, I want them to feel special. So that's part of it. I love to decorate. That's another hobby of mine. Drawing some house plans, some architecture. I like to do that. Just creative stuff. Flipping houses, making them pretty. Yeah. Well, I love Pride and Prejudice just because, you know, this house is perfect for it. So that kind of thing. So historical British movies. Yeah. And I love the sports movies that are based on true stories. I think they just have such good messages, and the camaraderie, and how maybe there's the friction, and then they come together and become a team, and they learn so much by being the team and having to like become one. But there's a lot of them, like Forever Strong, that was filmed in Utah. That's a good one. Oh, I'm a foodie, so that's hard. I like things that are saucy, so because I like the all ooey gooey in it. So, favorite food. I love Mexican chimichangas. Those are good. I like Italian yummy stuff with some white sauce. Those are good. A good bowl of soup and some homemade bread. We like bread in our family. Rolls. Yeah, one time, because we always, special occasions or just family get-togethers, well, always making rolls. But one time I'd gone out to visit my kids, and I was in somebody else's kitchen, and I just thought, you know what? I'm not making rolls this time. I'm gonna do rolls. They do a good job. So I made the rolls. Well, one of my children came to me and said, Mom, I love that you made the rolls, but if you ever don't want to make homemade rolls, let me know, because I'll make them. So it's important that we make homemade rolls. I have worked here since November of last year, so here it is. What is it? October? Oh, so almost a year. So just a year, almost. Well, it's very beautiful, and it feels very like back in the time that it was built. The owners did a really good job. They decorated it, remodeled it. But it has an amazing peaceful feeling here. There's just something, and as people come here, it feels good to them. And it just does. It's just calming and peaceful and beautiful and clean and tidy. It's just lovely. I like it here. I know it's been here since the temple was rebuilt, so 2002, so 21 years. And we have a lot of followers on Facebook, so I feel like it must have made an effect on so many people. I mean, we have 13,000 followers, and I hear that's a lot. So I don't know a lot about social media, but I think, oh, so many people. When I started posting on Facebook, people's responses, it was beautiful to see. Oh, I've been in that house. I've stayed there. My grandma, she lived there. Oh, my friends lived there. So it's kind of a neat thing. It's interesting, when I told my kids that I was going to run this bed and breakfast, they said, Mom, that's what you always wanted to do. And I'm like, I know. So it's just me. I've even looked at doing it before. Well, I actually did a little bit when I was in Keokuk, but to find out if you're a good, person to do a bed and breakfast, I looked online at some, would you make a good innkeeper? And this was years ago. Yeah, it's all the things. I love to feed people. I love to make a pretty house. I like to create a beautiful atmosphere. I like old houses. I like entertaining. And I just love people. I even like cleaning the rooms. If I were to quit doing one of the things, it would probably be cleaning the bathrooms. But I love making the beds. It's fun. One of my favorite stories is I had a couple come and stay here, and they had not been on a vacation by themselves. Well, they hadn't done very much by themselves because I had a daughter who was handicapped, and she had died about a year ago before they came. And so it was really the kind of their first outing. And she came down the stairs and she just said, "This is like fairyland to me." And I just loved that the Nauvoo Grand got to create a fairyland for her. And just recently a guy, he comes walking out of his room and he said, "This place is amazing." And they got here really, really late. So they hadn't even been around, they hadn't even toured the place or anything. And so I was very curious, like, what was so amazing? He said, "Just how it feels. It just feels so good." I'm like, I love that it's the feeling. That's the, I think, thing about it. What it is, what's the history, or just part of what Nauvoo brings. I want it to feel like a part of the experience. You know, people come to Nauvoo for different reasons, but many people come to tour the historic sites. And it feels like part of that for them, I think. It's peaceful. It's so peaceful and just beautiful. It just feels like it's a slow pace and just calm. I like the history of Nauvoo. I like that it's little. What else do I like about Nauvoo? The people. People are nice and just kind of old-fashioned, and I like that feeling of old-fashioned. Part of what Nauvoo brings, I want it to feel like a part of the experience. You know, people come to Nauvoo for different reasons, but many people come to tour the historic sites. And it feels like part of that for them, I think. Well, the temple. I love architecture. Well, actually, just neat old houses. I mean, I love the buildings down on the flats too. I love the scale and the balance, but boy, the temple is just so beautiful. The way it was designed and the stones that it's made out of. The grounds are always beautiful. Looking at the Mississippi River, sunrises, sunsets, those I find very beautiful. As a matter of fact, I get out of bed in the morning, I open my blinds, and I say, "Hello, world," because I'm so excited to see it. But also on the other side, when it's nighttime, I fold back the covers, go run into my bed. Sometimes I jump, do a little turn, land in bed, and pull up the covers and say, "I love bed." So going to bed and getting up are both good things. Oh, well, see, first of all, there's so much to do in Nauvoo that we just don't even know about. But the winery across the street, as a matter of fact, the Baxters are the ones who built this house when they first came out in, say, 1904. They came out with the Icarian movement. So it's the oldest winery in Illinois. So, and there's other wineries around. So tour the wineries. My goodness, come see what there is. And bird watching, that's a big thing here. We have the eagles that are down in Keokuk. I guess we get birds down the river too, but go down to Keokuk for Eagle Days. We have a whole Lake Cooper Loop that has so many things. Fort Madison has some neat things. Nauvoo, down in Nauvoo, you probably don't even know about all that stuff. It's part of Nauvoo adventure. There are so many festivals and things in this area. It amazes me. Watermelon, corn, threshers. I mean, it seems like everything you can eat, there's something that's a festival about. And then Nauvoo, all the sites, they're beautiful. It's amazing. But the pageant, oh my goodness, the pageants are so well done. They're so beautiful. The families come. Little children at 10 o'clock at night up on stage acting so well. It's amazing. And then the performing missionaries. Oh my goodness, you cannot go to Sunset by the Mississippi show and leave that place unhappy. That show is so fun. And they're just so talented. It's so good. I went to that show 5 times. And I've already been, other years, but it's just fun. So all the things you could do. I mean, free. Where can you get tours, rides, shows? I mean, like really good shows, all for free. It's pretty cool. If someone wanted to know when they might want to come to Nauvoo, I think that's maybe a good question for people to ask. Maybe depending on what they're looking for, would be determining when they want to come. Like I have some guests here, they knew it would be a slower time of year, but still there's so much for them to do. But if someone wants to come see the shows and the pageants, then that would be a different time of year. If you want to come for the winery, find out what's going on with that and come during those times of years. So just look online, see what's available, because there's stuff. I mean, I have somebody, friend who texted me the other day and said, "What's going on this weekend around here?" He says, "You seem to always know." So I cut a line and I sent him all these things. He has a date. So like, okay, she's coming from out of town. So I'm like, oh, there's this. There's horseback riding. There's zombie 5K runs. There's a play. We're a little town. It's a little area, but there's just seems like there's always something going on. Whether it's something actually that's going on that somebody's doing, or I mean, it's like a establishment or something like that, or whether it's just somebody throwing a party or something. It's like people gather and there's always something interesting to do. The fact that it's historic, it feels there's something neat about history. You can feel that. It's like you can feel history. I feel oh, it's gonna make me cry. It's funny. I feel I've lived in old houses before, and there's just something neat about old houses. Like, I feel a stewardship over them. If somebody comes and they want to see it, I feel like it's my job to show you the craftsmanship of the people that have lived here, so you can feel them and what they went through and what they lived. And same thing with like Nauvoo. There's so much history here, and it could be for anybody. It's not just for the LDS people, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's for everybody. It's got a nickname, the Jamestown of the Midwest. It's historical, but it's also very spiritual and very beautiful, and you can feel it here. So that's what's beautiful about here. It's just, you can feel the people. You can feel their beautifulness. I love that.